survive and thrive, you must adopt a product-driven mindset. Every great software developer could be a salesperson. They should be a salesperson, and they have all the skills to be a great salesperson. That's what I want to talk about today. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Matt, I hate salespeople. I get it. We all hate being sold to. However, salespeople have a very specific requirement for how they do their job that is exactly the same as software developers. It's listening. It's talking to people, understanding what their needs are, and then figuring out the right way to solve whatever their needs are. Let me give you an example. So if you went in to buy a truck, what would the salesperson do? They would ask you, well, what are you going to use the truck for? How many people need to sit in the truck? Are you going to be towing? Do you want an electric truck? Do you want a gas truck? Like, what kind of truck do you want? You would ask a lot of questions. And throughout the end of that process, then the salesperson would be like, okay, well, that's great. I understand what you need. How about this one truck over here? And as a customer, you'd be like, that fits perfectly for me, or it doesn't. And it was probably a pretty logical process to walk through and figure out what I need and make the decision. It's not any different as a software developer when you're trying to talk to your customers or users and understand what they need. It's exactly the same. You ask them a lot of questions and understand what are their problems, what are they trying to solve, and then show them and offer them a solution, or go back and build that solution and then go back to the user and get feedback on it. It's not a hard selling job. And a lot of the issues for software developers, especially if they want to be entrepreneurs, they hate sales, they feel like they're allergic to sales. But I'm sitting here telling you today, you have all the skills for it. Just be excited and proud of whatever you're built and go tell people about it. Like, hey, look at this cool thing that I built. But more than importantly, listen to your customers. That is our job. Like, as software developers, we have to listen to our customers to build the right thing. Now, the other thing that software developers are really good at that also kind of applies to sales is being really creative problem solvers. So just like in sales, you talk to a customer like, oh, I have this business problem, or I'm using the product and it doesn't do this thing. You can intuitively figure out how to solve that problem. You're very good, usually, at thinking outside the box, very creative people. So whether you think about it that way or not, a good software developer can also be a very good salesperson. Not an emotional, in-your-face, like buy kind of sales process, like everybody hates that, but more of a problem-solving conversation. And that's how we build software. It's the same thing. It's this different kind of sales, if you think about it that way. So I hope that was interesting lesson today. And we also know that for anything we're doing in software development, we also are selling ourselves. Why are we using this tech stack? Why are we building this feature? Why are we going to do this technical debt? Like, on a day-to-day basis, we also have to be advocating for the types of projects we want to do and how we do things. Like, sales is sort of inherently part of our job within the team. But the same thought process is really important when you're talking to customers to understand their needs. All right, subscribe for more and stay tuned for the next version of Product Driven. I would imagine it's not that software developers don't like salespeople. It might be that a lot of software developers just don't like talking to people. But maybe that's another episode. Before we wrap up today's episode, we have a special resource for you if you're looking to elevate your development team to have more of a product-driven mindset. I have a fantastic free ebook about turning your code-first team into a product-first team. Please go to fullscaleteam.com/product-first-teams to download this free ebook. There's also a link in the show notes. Thanks for listening to Product Driven, and we'll see you in the next episode.